Think about the cycle. Comes from this river, gets evaporated up into the clouds, rains down somewhere else, follows a stream, gets into a river, into a lake, into the ocean. The earth is a mass of water. Everything that is alive is made up of water, and everything relies on water. It's like this in the economy. You need to have movement of water or it becomes stagnant. You need to have flows of income. You need to have things passing through. Otherwise, what happens is the water rises, it takes a tree branch or driftwood and parks it up high until the river gets to that level again. It's very, very important to understand this. If you have different income streams, and this is exactly what you can do with commercial property, you have a much, much better chance of not only surviving, but thriving. When you look at how water actually exists and moves and flows, we've talked about it taking the easiest path. It's always flowing downhill unless it's in a geyser or being evaporated up into a cloud. But normally in the economy, what we find is people who have vast wealth have a high distribution of wealth in commercial property assets, and there's a very good reason for it. Leases are longer, so you can manage the flow of income for longer periods. Imagine making sure that the amount of water in this river stayed the same for 5 years or 3 years. With a 3-year option, a tenant can still navigate with their business to get a better outcome because they've got continuity and that security of tenure all the way down the line of their 3x3 or 5x5 year lease. But for the owners, they can manage the income because they know how much income they're getting, they know the annual increases, and they can look at the discounted cash flow to actually analyse the value of their asset. Many of the people that I met when I was in residential real estate did have maybe 1 or 2 houses. Some of them had 3 or 4, but not many of them had 50. And the number of people that I've met in commercial property that have 50 factories or 50 shops or a mix of offices and shops and factories, it's quite amazing actually. The reason is you're getting a higher rent return, and the higher rent return means that there's more income flowing into the bucket. If you imagine a bucket holding water just like this, the number of holes that come out of that bucket is actually your outgoings. So that could be things like insurance rates, all of those different strata levies and things like that that are associated with commercial property. But you can plug those up in a lease by making it net rent. And if it's a net rent, it means that everything that's flowing into the bucket is devoid of the outgoings which are paid by the tenant.